Look at me, prosperity recipe 2020. That girl, she's crazy. All right, so this is Prosperity Recipes, and that is the set of instructions that we will be given. And you all know the instructions, but if you do not practice this, it will not materialize. So you have to do the work. It is up to you. It's a 10-week program because just like making a cake is a process. You have to look at the recipe, you have to get the ingredients, you have to put the ingredients together, then you put it in your, and here's the other thing, you always put it in your oven. When you put it in the oven, is it a cake? No, it's just batter. You have to have faith that that oven is going to turn that batter into a cake. And so for some of you, it really comes out as a cake. For other of us, maybe not so much. But you have to have that faith. And the same thing with prosperity. You have to have faith that once we speak it out, once we say what we want, the universe, God, is always listening. And so that's why it's 10 weeks, because 10 is a magical number. We have 10 fingers and 10 toes, 10 commandments. And so everyone is welcome into this process. So that's what we want to do. And you can pay, it's $100. If you haven't already paid, don't worry. You can talk to me individually. If you need some extra time, we'll get that done. And so you can pay online at www.mgmsuperstar.com/online_classes. And there's also a thing called success donations. That is money that we're donating to Unity of Tempe. So and everyone will be expected to manifest something. So be prepared that everyone, each week, I'm going to ask you what you've manifested from before. So everybody will be manifesting this time. All right, so I'm here as the chef. I'm here as your guide, but you have to get your own prosperity. I can guide you to it. I can lead you to it, but you have to get up and go get it yourself. Because as you know, everybody wants something different. And so we've got to expand our consciousness and be practical. You have to take action. This is not one of those courses where you just sit and listen. You have got to do the work. And it's not really work as much as it is imagine what you want. The minute your imagination sends out that brain wave, it is a brain wave. It creates a vibration. Once that vibration locks on to what you want, it attracts it back to you. It's the law of the universe. It's the truth of the universe. And we keep forgetting that. We keep forgetting. We speak it out. We bring it back. But a lot of times we just don't say what we want because either A, we don't know what we want, or B, we don't think we should be saying that because it's selfish, or, you know, we've got a million reasons why we shouldn't do it. So it's a do-it-yourself process. You have to be able to articulate what you want. And everyone will be expected to manifest. I want everybody ready to manifest. You will manifest something. And so, look at, there's some pictures I made of me. Oh my God. When I went on this trip, it was so funny because they kept taking all these pictures, and I took those pictures and extracted them out and then put different backgrounds behind there. That looks fabulous, I think, you know, it's that audience. And so, doesn't it look like that?
Yeah.
I got to show you some of the ways that you can do some of this stuff. It's unbelievable what I've learned. And so some of the books that I've written. But here's my little Matthew. And we say it, everybody. Say it all together.
Abundant blessings are showering me now.
Shower me now.
Abundant blessings are showering me now.
Hanging upside down.
I am prosperous.
That was one of these that I took on that trip, and you know, I'm just hanging upside down. I wasn't hanging upside down. I'm standing straight side up. But it looks like that, doesn't it? So Abundant blessings are showering me now. I shimmer with excitement.
Shimmer
I am
with
prosperous. And that's what we're going to say over and over and over.
shimmer with
Know that
prosperity.
when you are looking at this, every day the news tells you craziness. The economy is down. COVID-19 is going up. I mean, if you listen to that, you will lose your mind. And you have got to remember the truth of the universe. There are people making millions on this economy, millions. And Miles put it, he's got his group is selling more than they probably have ever sold. They don't even have any inventory left to sell. And so somebody's got money, and we've got a lot of people that have got a lot of money right now, and we've got people that don't have money. This is the oddest thing I've ever seen. And so, but it's all an illusion. What you want to bring into your life is the reality. And that's we got to remember. And so knowledge is of no use unless you put it into practice. I have had people come to these classes and sit and they take copious notes. I was one of them in the beginning. And they put all this stuff down. But if you don't use it, if you don't change anything, if you don't start, abundant blessings are showering me now. I shimmer with excitement. I am prosperous. If you do not say that, if you do not change that inner dialogue, then it will be of no value. You've got to put this into practice every single day. And that's why I always say the test kitchen is, I can tell you all this stuff. And like myself, if you don't go out and test it out and say, MGM, what you said last week was hogwash, it did not work for me, then let's go through that and figure out why. But your abundance test kitchen is your ability to do this yourself. Michelle went out the last time. She found her business name. She's extremely crafty and very good at it. And she's got that now so that she can do something, take an action. So that's her abundance test kitchen. She went out and started using that. I went out and started walking. Now I had been walking, but I wanted to walk more because I knew I was going to have to come back and tell you whether I'd walked 10 miles. I did. And so because I had to tell you I was going to walk 10 miles. So you've got to make that decision. You've got to go out and practice it, and practice, practice, practice. They say practice makes perfect, but I think perfect practice makes perfect. You can practice the wrong thing over and over again, and it's not going to happen. I say perfect practice for vibrant health, harmonious relationships, purposeful purpose. You're going to give your world, and then your dream lifestyle. What do you want to look like? And so we say nothing will be impossible to you. In the Bible, in Matthew 17:20, nothing is impossible to you. We will watch the news and buy that the economy stinks and all of this stuff is happening. But yet when the Bible says nothing will be impossible to you, well, I can't believe that. Come on, we're believing the same stuff. We're letting the wrong people influence us. We're letting the wrong information influence our thinking. Nothing will be impossible to you. I love that statement. And so nothing will be impossible to you. It's all there.
Is somebody banging dishes?
Somebody's banging dishes. I can hear it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're banging, all I ask is just mute. Go on your computer. There's a thing that's you can push the auto button and mute it, and then we won't hear you. So that'll be good because I know I want to multitask too. So that's what happens. So just mute it, and that'll be fine. There you go. Now I would mute you all. I can mute everybody, but I don't want to do that because you might want to jump in. All right, is that working? All right.
Yep.
Here is the new song that Zephyr made for us. You're going to love that. Let me play it for you now, and you can jump in and sing anytime you want. Can you all hear it?
Yes.
blessings showering me with prosperity. Abundant blessings showering me. Abundant
Abundant blessings showering
me,
me,
showering
showering me with prosperity.
abundant blessings showering
Me,
showering.
showering me.
I'm shimmering, I'm glimmering, I'm
I'm
shivering, singing my song and
strong and
listening.
listening. Oh,
Blessings showering me with
me with
prosperity.
prosperity.
Abundant
Abundant
blessings
blessings
showering me,
showering me,
showering.
showering me.
Down, down, blessings showering. Many blessings overpowering. All of life is flowering. Mountains of blessings towering. Oh, oh, abundant blessings showering me
With prosperity,
abundant
the
blessings
blessings showering me.
Isn't that nice? So I,
Beautiful.
Nice.
Woohoo!
yeah, so that was a good
Love
one.
it.
All right, so now we're going to go to our Abundant Banquet Hall. And here again, it's one of those things where we say, this is to open up your imagination. We had a great imagination as children, and it has kind of closed down. And so if we want to be able to bring into our life the cars, the houses, the bank accounts, the jobs, the things that we want, we have got to be able to open up that imagination again. So this is that portion I always do. And here's the new picture. We've got, every time I will open up one of the covered dishes, so that you will be able to kind of think about that. And then we'll end up in the banquet hall taking our seats in one of these gorgeous seats. So right now, if you will, I would like you to get comfortable in your chair and just close your eyes. And all I need you to do is take a great big deep breath of prosperity in, and then let go of anything that no longer serves you. Take a second deep breath, breathe it in, and then let go of anything that you want to let go of. And then your third breath. And just relax. I want you to absolutely just let go. And I want you to now vividly imagine walking into our Abundance Banquet Hall. Your very own personal maitre d' warmly greets you and says, "Oh my gosh, welcome back. Thank you for coming." I want you to notice how joyful he is and filled with excitement that you've come back to your prosperity centerpiece. And I want you to know that he is now leading you to your own prosperity buffet table. It is the most delectable, largest buffet table of prosperity you have ever seen. Everything and anything you have ever wanted to create your dream life is on this buffet table for your pleasure. You and you alone will decide your prosperity. And your prosperity banquet table is covered, and you've got covered dishes. And as I lift each one of the covers, you'll see the items that were specifically designed for your enjoyment. The first one is, imagine your vibrant, healthy body. I want, as I uncover this dish, I want you to see it was prepared specifically for you. You were at your ideal weight. See you as your ideal weight. It's your ideal blood pressure, your ideal heart rate. You are pain-free, disease-free. It is the ideal body you want. You can run, jump, move, sit, stand easily and effortlessly. I want you to now vividly see your ideal body. Take it in. Go take as much of whatever you need. If you need more ease of joint pain, I want you to take that from that table. I want you to discard anything that no longer serves you. If you've got pain in your knee, pain in your back, let it go. Discard it right now. Only pick from the table what is beneficial and vibrant for you to have the ideal body. Oh my gosh, this next covered dish is the ideal harmonious relationship for you. I want you to see your perfect mate, the perfect person that matches for you. This can be a business relationship or it can be a personal relationship or both. You can have whatever you want. Outwardly, this person looks pleasing to you, and inwardly, this person is the best person for you. I want you to choose from the table all pieces that work for you. If you want someone with knowledge, bring that into your life. If you want someone with kindness, reciprocal, sweetness, ability to have great communication, see the things you want and pick from the table right now. Discard any relationship that is not serving you. Let it go right now. This next desk we're going to uncover is your ideal way to give your gifts and talents to the world. I want you to see your pleasurable purpose. Whether you're doing it right now or it's something you'd like to do, I want you to see that right now. And the job, the ideal career, the ideal entrepreneurial experience. I want you to see it manifesting for you right now, easily and effortlessly.
Easily.
Anything that does not work for you, discard it. Anything that is working for you, accept it. Bring it into your life right now. And our last covered dish is Yummalicious, your treasures, your ideal lifestyle. I want you to know that you are worth it. You can have anything you desire.
Yeah.
All is possible with God. It is all possible
No,
for
themselves.
I want you to see the money, the house, the car, the bank account, the investments that you want. Any investment that has not worked for you, let it go now. And I want you to see only your positive, ideal self coming to you. See it for yourself right now. And you are invited to test these dishes each and every week. You can always discard what does not work for you. You can always add what you want. Remember, you are made, this abundance banquet table is all set up just for you. And it is always prepared specifically for you. And you can get up and get whatever you want. If you forgot to get one item, you can go back and get it. If you took one item and you think, well, wait a minute, I don't think I like this, you can always discard it later. This is why people won't go get their prosperity, because they're afraid they'll make the wrong choice. Even if you do, you can always let it go. So you're going to imagine vibrant health, harmonious relationships, way to give your gifts and talents to the world and your dream lifestyle. See it coming to you easily and effortlessly right now. And so it is. And so come back to this room right now. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, take a nice big yawn, take a nice big stretch, and really realize that your ability to make your life whatever you want is always here for you. You have to always choose what you're going to have in your prosperity. So each week we do that. And the only reason I do it, people say, well, MGM, why do you do that? Because the more you can vividly imagine it, the faster it comes to you. If we have sometimes, some of you might have had a little challenge with this. And if you did, that's okay. Because each week it gets bigger and better every time you do it. And you can bring it to yourself faster and faster and faster. You can see your extreme ideal self. And so you must always get up and go get your own results. We have to stop waiting for somebody else to bring it for us, to make it for us, to give it to us. We have to, just like the buffet table, prosperity is a do-it-yourself job. And where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of you. And so what happens is we have God and Jesus right here with us. And so as our financial advisor, I think we can't get better than that. And so we're better, stronger together. When there's 2 or more of us together, we make a bond, and the bond is strong. And once that strong bond is out there, we can use it to our advantage. We know that I love spaced repetition. Maxwell Maltz did cybernetics, and he always said, if you repeat something 6 times per day for 30 days, you can make it into a habit. Some of the beliefs and some of the things that have happened to you in your life came from the 3rd grade, came from a teacher, preacher, mother, father, somebody else. It might have worked for them, but it's not working for us, and it's old. So we have to constantly be thinking how we're going to change our belief system to match who we are today. None of us will go back and pick up our 3rd grade clothing and put it on, but every one of us go back and get our 3rd grade beliefs and drag them into 2020 and think they're going to work. They're not going to work. And so we've got to put some new stuff into our subconscious so we get it down into our bones. And by saying it over and over and over, it comes. Here's the chart for spaced repetition. The blue is what we usually do. We learn something, and that's how quickly we can forget it. In 1 month, it's gone. But with spaced repetition, every time you keep repeating it, the red, yellow, green, and blue lines, you're bringing it into your consciousness. And once you keep doing that, it stays fresh and it stays with you. But if you only do it once and then you forget it, that's why you lose it so fast. So our beliefs are set usually when we were kids, and we have to allow the power of God to create what you conscientiously want to bring to life, what you want to manifest. And beliefs, if you're using your old beliefs, you're going to get your old results. And most of us take this course because we don't want what we've had in the past. We want some new results, but we can't get new results if we keep using the same beliefs, because every time you do that, you're going to get the same old stuff. So we've got to repeat something new by turning up the heat. And so if I would like you to practice 5 times a day, 20 repetitions at a time, so that would be so that will make it
100
a day. Thank you. And I can see it. So 100 times a day. So what's happening? Abundant blessings are showering me now. I shimmer with excitement. I am prosperous. When you say it over and over again, 100 times a day, that sounds like a lot. But you can do it all in the morning before you get up. You can do it in the evening before you go to bed. And then if we do that 7 times a week, that's 700. And then 10 weeks, that's 7,000. Can you imagine? It gets down in your bones. I am prosperous. So we always, everybody that's taken this course always manifests during this course. Everyone do. And why do you think that is? Because we're conscientiously doing this stuff. And then we finish the course, and what happens? We don't do it anymore. And when we conscientiously do it, we start manifesting like crazy. So we know how to do this. What is it, everybody? Abundant blessings.
Abundant blessings are showering me now.
I shimmer with excitement.
I am
prosperous.
And bring it in, say it in, and that's what we want to do. Now, here's abundance. Now, abundance is interesting because everybody always said, I want to be abundant. Well, you're already abundant. Everything you want is surrounding you, plentifulness of things. Is there anybody on this phone call that doesn't have enough stuff in your house? You've got enough food, you've got enough clothes, you've got enough water. We've got everything we want. It's not abundance. It never has been abundance. Abundance is all the stuff surrounding us, and we've got enough stuff. And in Phoenix, Arizona, if you don't have enough stuff, they even tell you on the TV, if you need food, come on down to St. Mary's Food Bank. We'll give you food. So we've got an abundance of stuff. That is not our problem. Our challenge is prosperity. Prosperity, on the other hand, is about prosperity is attracting abundance to you for your good and the good of all. How do you attract it to you so that you can flourish and thrive? And that's what we'd like to talk about in this class. You attract it to you by first knowing what you want. That's step number one. The universe and God are always listening. And if you don't know what you want, God just says, I'll come back when you are
Ready.
You know it. And so you'll come back when you're ready. And if you're not ready, then that's what happens. And so God just keeps going, I guess they'll finally get it. And when they finally do, I'll hand it over to them. So you can't get what you want until you're ready. We know that green is the color of health and abundance. So use green to access your prosperity. If you put signs up around your house, I highly suggest you put them up in green. I usually give you a green pen, but of course we're not physically near each other, so you can use the green pens from before, or you can find that and write your green in green. Especially on my checks, I have God is my source. I wrote it in on my check. I have it printed on my checks now. And so that I remember every time I'm sending out for my bills, I want to know that God is my source. And Ernest Holmes he was one of the creators of Science of Mind. And as he said, begin right where you are, whether you're along on the path of prosperity or you're just starting, it doesn't matter. Constantly applying yourself to the truth gradually increases your wisdom and understanding, and good results will be obtained. So no matter where you are, as long as you start saying, prosperity is mine, I am prosperous, claim it, start claiming it. And when you do, it becomes you. Charles Fillmore, who is one of the founders of Unity, wrote, isn't this interesting? They all had similar ideas. Start right now with the ideals of universal and eternal goodness uppermost in your mind. Talk only about good and see with the mind's eye everything and everybody as good. Then you will soon be demonstrating all kinds of good. Let me repeat that. See everything and everybody as good. Right now, are we hearing that a lot on TV? No, you are not. And so we're repeating what we're seeing and we're going, wait a minute. But yet when I go outside, it's so beautiful. It's so pretty. My backyard is beautiful. My gosh, I had a gorgeous dove who gave birth, and she was such a good mother. She sat on her nest. Oh my gosh, she didn't move for like 3 weeks. I was nervous for her. I wanted to climb up and give her some worms or water or something, you know. You know, so you've got to see everything good around you and start saying it, talking about people good, even the ones you don't like. Jesus said, whatever you ask in prayer. Believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Don't pretend like, well, one day when I get it. No, if you're asking for it in prayer, see that you already have it. See that you already have it. My relationship, he's going to see that relationship is already done. Michelle's going to see that all of those emotions that she's got are already showering on other people that are helping them to be strong and dance and do the things that they want. Every one of you are going to see what you wanted already. It's come to pass. Knowledge is, let me say, knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. So we got to put it into practice. And here's what I know. And some of you know this, some of you don't. Once upon a time, there was a young gal I once knew, and she was living the dream. She found and married the man of her dreams. He was in the army. They traveled the world, skied in Europe, and even dined with the Crown Prince of Belgium. And so they were living the life. And then all of a sudden, the perfect storm comes along. And there was the loss of the spouse. The spouse said one day, I love being married to you, but I just don't want to be married anymore. And so there was a divorce, then housing because he was Army. So that meant she lost her housing because the Army wanted him to have the house. And then her career and job were gone because, of course, she had changed her job a million times just to be with him. And so she landed in Phoenix, flat broke, no friends, no family, no money, no job. And she had a bad attitude because when you get hurt, what's the instant reaction you have? Anger. Fear turns to anger, anger turns to hate and resentment. And so these are the things that will keep you from any of your prosperity. Fear, doubt, worry, hate, and anger are the things that will push prosperity away from you. It is like a magnet repelling prosperity because there's no way for prosperity to come in when you're full of anger. There is no way there's no space. And so what had to happen? She didn't have any money, but she did have a gym membership and couldn't even pay for her electricity in her apartment. So she went to the gym every day. She was buff, but she was broke and she was blah. And what did she say all the time? I have no money, I have no money. So what did the universe give her?
No money.
Because the universe is always listening and God is listening. And so finally one of her friends said, you better get a grip, girl. You are so bad. And so he said, you need to read that book, Think and Grow Rich. And she thought that'll be good because I can go down to the library and at least that's air conditioning. So she's stubborn. And she reads, whatever you can conceive, you can achieve. And she thinks, well, that's stupid. That's just plain stupid. And it said, thinking provides great possibility. And she, once again, that's stupid. All things are possible. That's stupid. That's what she kept saying. And finally, she read that it said you can't keep doing that. And so just to show that it was wrong, show you how stubborn she was, to show it was wrong, she started doing what the books were asking her to do. And finally, it said, your job is to know what you want. That's your job. Everybody on this phone call, your job is to know what you want. God's job is to know how. You don't have to know how. Everybody keeps thinking, Gina wanted to know how. You know, she was going to start her singing career. And within a week, the band materialized out of nowhere. Nobody could have anticipated that. I just couldn't have seen that in the foreground. But then it happened. Mary Moylan, how many times that $10,000 materialized like that from her ex-mother-in-law? I could write a book on the number of times that I would never have thought of what has happened. But it happened because what happened? She knew what she wanted. The minute you speak it out, the universe goes, hey, thank you. I've been waiting to bring you what you wanted, but because you didn't know, I didn't bring it. And so God's job is to know how and send the resources. Your job is to know what you want. So this gal hated her apartment. So what did she say every single day? I hate my apartment. The first thing you got to do is what? Stop saying that. So she didn't know how, but she knew what she wanted. Since she hated an apartment, she knew she needed to be asking for a house. So what did she then change that I hate my apartment? You have to put something in there. If you do not put something in, you'll keep getting the same stuff over and over. So she had to put in there, I claim my new house. She hated having no friends. And what she say? I have no friends. I have no friends. So she had to know how. She didn't know how she was going to get friends, but she knew what she wanted. She wanted to ask for friends. So she had to ask for that. Look at all things are possible.
Oh.
Isn't that cute? It's so cute. So she had to claim her new friends. So instead of I have no friends, I claim my new friends. Do you see how you have to turn it around? I have no money. She knew that she wanted money, but she didn't know how she was going to get it. So she sent out a positive vibration. And the positive vibration was, I claim $153,459. $153,459 is what she wanted to claim. She just made that number up. She was making like $12,000, $13,000 a year, and she makes that number up. And so you have to understand, vibrating at a higher level attracts prosperity. If you're sending out anger, what are you going to attract?
Anger.
Anger. If you send out fear, what are you going to attract? Fear.
Fear.
Whatever you're sending out is what you're going to attract back, and it's going to come at you, and you're going to lose your mind because you're going to go, I hate this. And so she claimed her new house, she claimed her new friend, and she claimed $153,459, and that's what she claimed. And so this was back in the 1980s. Just like today, unemployment was at 11.1%. 12 million people were unemployed. Does this sound familiar? Inflation was at 13.5%. The banks weren't lending. There was a savings and lending debacle that happened in those years. And the prime interest rate to buy a house was 21.5%. Can you imagine? We got it down to 2 or 3% right now. If you wanted to buy a house back then, 21.5% interest. Do you know how much money you were paying? The banks, no wonder they made so much money. They were making huge amounts of money. And so what happens? It's what you're seeing today. This is such a parallel for today. Every day you turn on the news and you see join the herd. There's herd mentality. We've got COVID-19 running rampant. We've got, a divide right now in the country, a political divide, and I don't think it's a black-white divide because I think people are now seeing humanity as humanity. Thank you, God. So some of the good stuff that's coming out of this. And so, but you have to understand, fear drives the herd. Fear, doubt, worry, hate, anger, and resentment are the 5 things that will cause you not to get what you want. And so you've got to be very careful. You can listen to the news, but if you keep repeating what they're saying on the news, that's what you will get. This is the greatest time ever to make money right now. Right now is the greatest time. So we all know who I was talking about. It was me when I first came to Phoenix, Arizona, 1980. We're seeing this now in 2020, but yet in 1980, I opened my speaking business and made 6 figures. I had never made 6 figures in my life, but because I was reading all of these books and I was doing what they were saying to do, I was taking action. All of a sudden, I made that 6 figures. I bought a house. How stupid was I? 21.5% interest. Oh my gosh! Just the interest alone was a killer. But I did buy that house. Matter of fact, that was the first house. I bought 2 more after that. And then I made new friends. So all of this happened in 1980. This is 2020. It's time for that revisionary thinking. I'm going to do what I did in 1980 and 2020. Make sense to anybody?
Yes.
And I wrote the book, The Women's Millionaire Club. And when I had just seen on the TV, why I wrote that was I had just seen on TV that half of America was in trouble, and you know who they were? Women and children. Women and children, because when a woman divorces, usually they are making a fraction of the salary that they were with the husband, because they supported usually the husband. And so when I saw that, I said, I can't allow a whole group of people to go by and teach their kids poverty thinking. So this is where that came out of. Here's our prosperity recipe. It's not hard. We all know it, but we all have to start using it again. Number one, know what you want. Just by knowing what you want, it sends out a clear vibration to the universe. I know what I want. The God and the universe can start sending you the resources. Believe you can have it. The majority, number one thing around the world, and this isn't just in America, around the world is, I'm not good enough. And when you believe that, then money pushes away from you. It's a repeller. So you don't want to repel money. So we've got to get a hold of your belief system and figure out what beliefs are you still got in your system. Then comes take action. Most of us in this class, what I love about the people that keep coming back is you've all taken action because you know what you can create when you come together like this. We know we can create health. We know we can create money. We can create, doggone it, anything we want to create, but we must take action. I've had people take this course in the past and believe this stuff, but they never did anything. And no matter what action you take, because no matter what action you take, I have applied for jobs. I haven't applied for a job in 30 years. It doesn't matter, because whether I get that job that I've applied for, something will happen because I took action. And then give thanks and praise ahead of time. Right now, be grateful and thankful because you already received what you asked for. So that's what we're going to do. We'll get into that. Know what you want, believe you can have it, take action, give thanks and praise. And we all know how to do that. So vibrating at a higher level with your thoughts, your words, and actions, all things are possible. You become a money magnet. You become a health magnet. You become a prosperity magnet. You become a relationship magnet. So I always put money, but it can be all of the things. You can attract. Jane wants to attract health. She wants to let go of dis-ease, and she wants to bring into her realm health. And we're going to help her do that. And so once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. And so you've got to decide you want to vibrate at a higher level. You can either vibrate at the level that you see on TV every day, or you're going to vibrate at a higher level. That's the choice you have to make tonight. You have to make a decision. And if you want to turn off the news, you can, or listen to the news, but then make a decision. Bless everything that just happened on that TV today. I'm going to see positive coming out of every single thing on that TV. Like attracts like. If you're hanging out with negative people and you're talking negative and you only surround yourself with negative, you are going to attract that to you. Period. End of story. You must hang out. This is why it's so paramount that we hang out with each other, because we get each other. We have moments of doubt, but we don't wallow in it. You don't stay in it. I have had a tough couple of months, I would have to say, but I'm not going to wallow in it. I understand it. I will cry when I need to cry. I will yell when I need to yell, but then I will know that I need to vibrate at a higher level. Because if I vibrate at a low level, we all remember I have a neighbor. He sued me 5 times. This has been going on since 2013. And I stood there screaming in my head at him for years. And that wasn't working. Now wasn't. So I started doing what? Love. I'm building
Sending him love.
You bet. I sent him love. I stood right at my doorway to his house and saw a bridge of understanding, and that he moved out yesterday. He's gone.
Yay!
No, it didn't happen in my time. It happened in God's time. But it became so much less painful when I stopped sending him all that anger. And I started saying, because I could not move on until I let go, because like attracts like, I was attracting more anger. And as soon as I let go of that and sent him love, he's not a loving guy. He didn't send me love back, but I got love from all my neighbors, and he's gone. I was even thinking I was going to have to move at one time, and now he's gone. So it works. You've got to keep the faith. And so we're better, stronger together, because put this knowledge in action, practice, and away we go. So the Bible.
MGM.
Yes.
MGM, I read something that I want to share with everyone, and I think it's another good saying that we could all share. And it's, I have a good relationship with money. Money is my friend, and I deserve to flourish and prosper.
I love that. Send it to me. Text that to me, and I'll put it in on a slide. I love that.
Okay.
I love that. I really like that. Send that to me, Kathy, and I'll put that in on a slide. That's an excellent one. I'll put it in for next week.
Okay.
So once you get that, because I've all talked to each one of you individually, and I know there are people in your life that drive you crazy. And if you don't have somebody, I can give you a couple of mine. But you have to understand that the son-in-law, I can spend all because he has done so many things. I could just sob when I think about it. But will that do me any good? Will it attract my grandchildren to me? No, it won't. Because you can have that in your head. Those kids can feel that. Everybody can feel it. So you have got to really, and it is hard. I'm not saying this is easy stuff to do, but I am saying the ultimate financial guide, the ultimate guide for me is the Bible. And I have to understand what I like attracts like. If I send him anger, good Lord, he's better at it than I am. And I can't do it. I won't. So you have to make a decision on all those people in your life. Are you going to release that and send them love? Are you going to send them hate? And if you send them hate, you're going to get it back. And they're usually better at it than you are. So stop it. Let it go. Replace it. You've got to replace it with something. So love works for me. Or if you can't replace it with love, replace it with like. Or replace it with neutral. If you can't replace it with love or like, replace it with, I will treat this person neutral. They don't go one or the other. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, that does.
You got to say, God is my source and my ultimate financial guide, but it's also my ultimate counselor, because I know that neutraling somebody out, they can't hurt me anymore. If I make them neutral, it's like somebody you just met. You don't know them. You can't hate them or like them. You don't even know them. They're just neutral. So that's what you make people if you can't do the rest of it. All right. So Jesus spoke more about money and possessions than any other thing in the Bible. He's got over 1,000 verses on this. Why? Because he knew, like any good teacher, that it's difficult to grasp. Prosperity is difficult to grasp, but it's essential to survive. You can't survive without it. So the basic recipe, and we've got to go over this so you're ready for next week. First, this is the recipe on how to release and how to bring into your life what you want. First, become aware. Take inventory of your beliefs and to make room for prosperity. If you are hanging around with fear, doubt, worry, hate, and anger and resentment, good Lord, there's no room for anything else. If you've got belief about something about money, or belief about health, a belief about relationships, a belief about money and possessions, you've got to know what those beliefs are, because if you're using them now, they can keep your prosperity from you. So become aware by taking inventory. Create a vacuum. When I say create a vacuum, all that means is release beliefs that no longer serve you. A vacuum means to just release. Release anything that no longer serves you. Clear your mind pantry out. Release it. That will create the vacuum. When you release something, it creates the vacuum. You've got to bless anything that you have released to its highest good. Bless it for serving you in the past. Bless it to go to somebody who needs it, or bless it to its highest good. But release it, how you create the vacuum. Once you release something, now there's a space. That's the vacuum. If you do not fill that space yourself, the universe, God, will fill it for you. So when you take inventory and you say, I don't need any of these beliefs anymore, that creates the vacuum by releasing them. And then you have to replace it with something. Most of the people never prosper because they don't fill their vacuum. They don't fill what they've released, that space, with something they want. They just release and then they just move on, and you don't get what you want. So this week, you're going to spend 15 minutes a day clearing out something, a space, whether it be a drawer in your house, a piece of your closet, a part of your garage. Just take 10 to 15 minutes to release something. You're going to release it to Goodwill, give it to somebody else that can use it. You're going to give extra weight to somebody you see that might need it. And you go in the store and you see somebody that's really skinny, just say, Dear Lord, releasing my weight right over to that person. I do that all the time.
Whoever I'm releasing to doesn't want my weight. It keeps coming back.
You got to release it. You can't lose it. You got to release it. So to fear, doubt, worry, hate, and resentment, you got to let those go. Because if you're holding on to them because you're angry at somebody who did something to you 25 years ago, or you see somebody on TV that sets you off, then, have a moment, rant, rave, do what you need to do, but then let it go. Don't carry it around. And that's the point. Let it go, and just go. There you go. And take inventory. All that means is look at your beliefs about, let's start with money, because that's the biggest one for everybody. It's a maze. And if you don't know what your beliefs are, you're going to run into it all the time. For me, we all know mine was money is the root of all evil. I believe that. There were songs that sung it, and everybody kept saying it, money's the root of all evil. And I can remember as a kid understanding from the nuns that money was the root of all evil. I remember hearing them say that. And so in my head, it's stuck. Now, how hard is it going to be to make money if you think money is evil?
Gonna be hard.
It's going to be hard because it's going to come in, and what am I going to do with it? Release it, because obviously it's not working for me. It's evil. So once I figured that out, oh my gosh, this was huge for me. I don't know about y'all, but it was a huge piece for me because I was a helper, a big time. I still am, and big time helper. And I had it in my head, if I made money, I would be evil. How many of you just want to be evil? None of us. So this didn't work for me. But I didn't even know I had it in my system until I did this inventory, until I figured out, oh my gosh, that's what's stuck in my craw. So what did I have to do? I had to become aware of it to begin with, because otherwise it becomes a chain for me. And so the Bible actually says the love of money is the root of all evil. Let me repeat that. Not money is the root of all evil. The love of money. Some people, there's the ticket. If you don't get that, it's the love of money. Some people eager for money who have wandered else with many griefs. It's the love of money that causes the problem, not money. We need money to survive. Money, look at that. Money's green. It's malleable. You can give it away. You can make more of it. It's fabulous. You can do great things with money. But if you think it's evil, you're never going to do great things with it. You're never going to have it because it will be taken from you. So once I figured this out, so there I had to take inventory. I did. Then I had to create a vacuum. How do I do it? By releasing that belief. And so once you release the belief, what do you have to do? You've got to fill it. My belief is money is malleable. Money can help me. Money can help other people. So I've replaced money is evil with money is very helpful. And money is great for people because I can tithe more than I have ever tithed in my life. I can help people in ways that I ever did. So you have to take inventory on every section you want to change in your life. If you want to take inventory on your health, what are your beliefs about health? Michelle, do you mind if I say that one that you had for a long time?
Oh, sure.
Michelle is a nurse, and she had the belief her daddy died young, didn't he? Of a heart.
Yes, of a heart attack. Yeah.
Of a heart attack. And so, what did Michelle believe? And say what you told me, what you said in class that time. Do you remember it?
I used to say all the time, I'm a heart attack on a stick.
Heart attack on a stick.
I don't know why I said that.
I think that, and she said it a lot. And
Yeah.
so what happened is, as soon as we saw that and heard her say that, then we could say, Michelle, if you believe that, then you're going to manifest a heart attack. And her blood pressure was through the ceiling. So what did we have to do? We had to give her something to fill that vacuum with. Michelle is one of the most loving, kind, sweet neighbors you ever want to meet in your life. And so she's got a heart that not only is healthy, but it is such a heart that is large. It can give to many people. So this is a heart that is very survivable. This is a strong heart. This is a peaceful heart. This is a kind heart. So we replaced heart attack on a stick. We had to release that, flush it out, let it go, and replace it with strong heart that's kind, that's loving, that can survive virtually anything. And what happened to her blood pressure?
It went down.
Down, and she
Down it went.
medication big time. So this is a nurse that had been taking medication, that have been saying this. If you don't think the words you say and the beliefs you hold affect your health, then you're living in la la land, because it affects you like crazy. And you have to make a decision. Be aware, take inventory. So if money is your issue, start with that. If health is your issue, you're going to start with health. You're going to start looking at your beliefs about health. My beliefs about health have changed dramatically over the years. I have let go of every belief that I had about health. You know, it's genetic. Diabetes is in my family, blah, 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 blah. Never even think of that. I don't take a drop of medication. Why? Because I chose not to. That is my choice. My choice is to attach to beautiful, vibrant health. My choice is to live a drug-free life. My choice is to make sure that my health is vibrant, because I look at my health and pay attention to it. So start there if health is your first issue. If job and career, your purposeful purpose is your first issue, then start there. What should a job or career bring you? Should it bring you joy, or should it just bring you money? Should you be in something that makes you happy, and because you're happy, you make money? I think so. I think speaking is the best way to make money.
You love it.
I love speaking to make money, and I think that's okay. You know, in the past, I didn't think so. But once I changed that and made it so that is my issue, and I said, my gosh, I've been thinking that I have to work hard for the money. I even sang that song. She works hard for the money, so hard for the money. Oh, forget that. I'm not working hard for the money. I'm going to work fun with the money. And look at Gina. Gina's decided singing makes her happy. She go make money singing. Come on. Why not? And so if that's your issue, then look at career first. And then a dream lifestyle. If you don't have the house you want, if you don't have the car you want, if you're not living, taking the vacations you want, then start there. You know, did you think that only God says you get the good money and then you don't? You know, you got the smart brain and you don't? Oh, come on. I don't think God did that. I think it was how you learned to believe about money. And have you ever heard that? The richer and the poor get poorer. And so why don't we say the poor get richer because they're listening and watching people get rich? So why don't we change our statements? And so you got to look at your beliefs, because if you're not looking at your beliefs, I promise you, you've got something stuck in there that's holding you back. And if you've got it holding you back, you've got to let that go. A lot of people oh, I forgot to put relationships on here. Whoops, sorry about that. I thought I put that on there. I didn't. Relationships are another thing. How do you think of relationships? You've got to figure out what you're thinking about relationships are. Should they be kind? Should they be loving? I'm so grateful to have had a mother and father who not only loved each other, but they really liked each other. I mean, they showed us a really great relationship. So you have to decide what you're going to use in your life. And if you don't have one, look at somebody else's that you see and say, I can emulate that. It doesn't have to be something you saw in your personal life. It can be something off of TV or something out of the movies if you want. But start taking that on. Nature abhors a vacuum. To create the vacuum, you just release things in your life. That creates the vacuum. And then you've got to release what no longer serves you. We clean out our refrigerator every once in a while to release what needs to be. That creates the vacuum. So now you've got to bless it, give it to others who can use it, or release it to its highest good. No need to throw it away. Release it to its highest good. That means anything, that means your job. If you don't like your job, release it to somebody who needs it and wants it. That will do better for it. So release, create that vacuum, and then fill your vacuum. You've got to fill your vacuum. And how do you fill it? Decide what you want. Decide what you want. That fills the vacuum. What you decide is what you fill it with. For Michelle, we let go of I'm a heart attack on a stick waiting to happen, to I have a strong heart that is a loving heart, that's kind heart, and it can withstand so much. It is pounding, pumping every day the way it should, and vibrantly at the exact right blood pressure. And it did, just like that. It didn't even take a year. It was automatic once she changed that belief. Beliefs are everything. Once you release to create your vacuum, it's time to fill the vacuum. Fill your refrigerator with all the lovely stuff. Fill it with all the, look at how pretty that looks. Come on. Your belief bank, that can do it. And so the last thing I want to talk about is the prosperity. The secret sauce is expands and multiplies as always. Tithing.
Tithing.
I know it. Everybody usually hates the tithing, but hear me clearly. When I was broke in Phoenix, I guarantee you, though nobody, and even to this day, I can never tell you how I got to make that $153,459. But I can tell you that it changed when I learned about tithing. I had never been a good tither. I come from a Catholic background, and my parents always made us tithe. They were big tithers. They liked it. They didn't call it tithing. I don't know what they called it, but they didn't call it that. I didn't know that word until I came into Unity. But I didn't even know that was the name of the word, but it is that word. It was giving back. I didn't know that. But once I started to do this, even when I was flat broke, I would give $1 or 50 cents sometimes, and it always came back. And once I started paying attention to that, then I became really a tither. And so, and this is my dear friend, Catherine Ponder. I love Catherine Ponder. Just as it is necessary to breathe out regularly to receive fresh air into the lungs, so is it necessary to give regularly if you wish to receive regularly. That one statement changed my life. I will always be grateful for Catherine Ponder's That Dynamics Laws of Prosperity. If you haven't read it, it is fabulous. I love this book. Love, 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 love this book. And but that was the statement that really changed my life. That makes so much sense to me. If you want to breathe out regularly to receive fresh air, you've got to breathe in, and then you've got to give regularly to receive. That made so much sense. And so that's up to you. I give to Unity of Tempe because that's where I go to church and that's where I receive my spiritual. And on Thursdays, if you like to have some prayers, on Thursdays, there's the Thursday, you can go on Unity of Tempe and they'll give you the thing and you can come Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's kind of like a little prayer group. It's really wonderful. But it's a great thing to do. And so as a kid, I was a little redheaded and a little girl, but you can't make me do it. I would hold my breath. But now I don't hold my breath on tithing because I know it's a paradox. This is why Jesus put so much money in the Bible, because for heaven's sake, it's hard to figure this out. How can you give and receive? You don't want to give right now because you don't think there's a lot coming in. So that's the best time to give. So that's what we do. And I love this. This is the second thing from the Bible, Malachi. Bring ye all tithes to the storehouse that there might be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts. I love this part because it's the only part in the Bible, only part in the entire Bible that says, prove me now herewith. Doesn't say prove my love. It doesn't say prove that there will be light. It doesn't say prove that. It just says prove me now herewith that I will open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall be no room enough to receive it. Look at that picture. I will open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. If you want love in your life, what must you give? If you want more time in your life, what do you have to give?
Time.
If you want more money, what do you have to give?
Money.
Money. So it just works that way. It is a paradox. I don't know. I'm not the one that made it up. I'm just telling you the truth. Prove me now herewith. If you don't believe me, prove this wrong. Use a tithing manual or tithing page, or make one and decide, I'm going to give X number of dollars, $1, $7, $21, however much. And I have a success button on my success donation that you can give on there every week if you want to. And I will open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. $7 brings you 10 times that, 700. So what you need to do is you have to figure out, what is it that you want? And if you want more love, if you want more health, you're going to be thinking about good health. You have to vibrate vibrant health. Even when you're sick, you may not vibrate or say again, I feel so sick today. Because every time you say it, I'm sick, you will get more sick. You must say, I see vibrant health for myself right now. I claim my vibrant health. That's the phrase I like to use. I claim my vibrant health. And so I will open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And so Prosperity Recipes is about prove me now. You can make an agreement for yourself to tithe for the next 10 weeks. You don't have to. It's up to you. But make an agreement with yourself that you're going to, abundant blessings are showering me now. I shimmer with excitement. I am prosperous. Make a decision that you're going to say that 100 times a day, 700 for the week, and then 7,000 for this class. By setting that into your bones, getting it down into your bones, you bring your prosperity vibration up. And once your vibration prosperity is up, it attracts to you. So go out to your test kitchens after we leave this call and start testing out these things. Start cleaning out 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day. Just clean out that. Don't go long. Don't go an hour. Just 10 to 15 minutes. And start practicing vibrant health, harmonious relationships, pleasurable pleasure, and dream lifestyles. We're cooking up a recipe for prosperity, and it's up to you. Abundance is all around you, but prosperity, you have to attract to yourself. You have to get up and go get it. And you do it by know what you want, believe you can have it, take action, give thanks and praise before it arrives on the physical plane, and it will be yours. So everything you have asked for, what we're going to do is send it to me either by text, by email, or by don't try smoke signals, because I don't usually get those. So, and so that's